तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः।
Let's proceed toward the program. In today's scientific session, we have Honorable Amy Blessio, Gayatri Devi from Milan, Italy, Honorable Swami Brahmaswarup Brahmacharya Ji, and our Honorable Chancellor of Dev Sanskriti University, Dr. Pranav Pandya Ji, and our dignifying Registrar, Sir Professor Sandeep Sir, and our Professor VC Sir, S.D. Sharma Sir, and Professor Dr. Chinmay Pandya Ji. Once again, we heartily welcome to all the excellence.
Now, I welcome Honorable Chancellor Sir, our Chief Guest Amy Blessio Ji, our Registrar Sir, our Vice Chancellor Sir, and our Pro-Vice Chancellor Sir on this scientific spiritual session on yoga, culture, and spirituality. Let's proceed toward this session. We highly privileged that we are surrounded by such a wonderful peoples who impart their knowledge and experiences with us, and their experiences and guidelines Blessio Gayatri Devi Ji, Mahamandaleshwar Yogacharya Pandit. She is a founder and president of CUIDY, Confederazione Ufficiale Italiana di Yoga, the World Community of Indian Culture and Traditional Disciplines, and of Surya Nagara Ashram International Yoga School, Milan, Italy. Initiated Gayatri Devi Ji is at Shantikunj, Haridwar, 1996, and she has experience in yoga, culture, and spirituality of more than 45 years. She wrote and published 6 books, and she is finishing her 7th book, Leela Yoga, dedicated to parents and children. In 2006, in Mumbai, she was awarded honoris causa of the title of Pandit because of her work and her involvement in the field of instruction and culture. In 2008, she received the title of Mahamandaleshwar and was elected President of International Yoga Confederation of New Delhi. In 2009, she was appointed President of Women International Network. In Milan, Italy, 2011, at the House of World Cultures, the Universal Peace Federation and the International Women's Day organized by ONU gives to Amy Blessio the title of Ambassadors for the Peace on the Motivation. We felt honored to have such a wonderful personality with us. Please welcome respected Amy Blessio Gayatri Devi Ji to impart his knowledge and experiences, his views with us. Amy Blessio, ma'am.
Pranam. I am very honored to be here again. And thanks life that allowed me to meet the thought of Sri Ram Sharma Acharya-ji. And I thank to Dr. Pandya, Pranav Pandya, and Dr. Chinmay Pandya-ji for the opportunity they give me sharing you my thinking about the origin of knowledge, yoga and Sanatana Dharma. Save knowledge and knowledge will save us. This is the motto that over this last year has become the centerpiece of the teaching that I offer on my students, both in yoga teachers training courses and in ordinary yoga courses. Yoga is in this time, is a very important discipline, but perhaps more than it has ever been before. And the reason is a need to recover one's center, one's own contact with the reality. In a world that considers only appearance, people feel the need of being, and yoga is the most efficient way to get in touch with the real essence. We would not think about yoga as a religion because it would be a misconception. Yoga is a path to personal realization, which can be covered equally by believers and not believers, followers of all creeds, without coming into conflict with one's beliefs and ideas. Yoga is the knowledge that opens mind, and it is a huge help to overcome a suffering of this year of intolerance, of closing mood that many people show in their refusal to accept other ways of thinking and beliefs. Someone from fear of excommunication or anathemas, or for other reasons, real or invented. So all those who are inside dogmas have difficulties to be open to other points of view. Dogmas close the mind. An open mind, not conditioned by any line of thought, it's like a white light which contains all colors and enlightens everything. A color light only knows its color, and flattening in a monochromatic way all things, will not have the opportunity to appreciate the beauty of all the other colors. The same goes from the various religious lines. Knowing other faiths, it's truly amazing to see how they all have a common matrix, or even if there is no relationship between them, however, they have something similar in common, the substance. Being human, we can't think differently from human. It looks like a play of words, but the sense is that if we are ants, we can't think differently from ants. If we are plants, we don't think different of plants. If we are stone, we can't think differently from stone. So, what have we have in common is a power without dogmatic construction, dictated by misuse of powers or fears, maybe even different from those mentioned before, but equally frightful. The fear of losing the appearance, the status, or the social position. In practice, if we get rid of all this moodiness, we can recognize an identical substrate. For example, let's take into consideration the Sanatana Dharma, the Indian spirituality, and I precise spirituality and not religion, which means to constrain, to tie. Religion comes from the Latin word religare, which means to constrain, to tie. That's why I prefer to talk about spirituality and not religion. Spirituality is not subject to power and social conventions. Spirituality is that basic aspect of the human being thought that with current knowledge is indisputable and unalterable. In short, is the closest part for the idea that everyone has of the divine without form, of Sanatana Dharma. Well, if we take this basic knowledge of the ancient poets and sages in the Vedas and in various Upanishads, we notice that it's not very different from Christian or Sufi thoughts, does not differ from animistic spirituality of Central Africa or from the thinking of the skins, etc., and neither from the teaching of Buddha, Christ, Mahomet, and so on. And I'm not talking about Catholicism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, animism, shamanism, and various other isms that over the century have unfortunately disregarded the very thoughts of their founders and guides, building extra structures that they have suffocated the pure initial idea and making it completely denatured of, in most cases, even contradictory. I'm referring just to basic spirituality. That is the one and the only one which I always take in consideration, and that I personally identify with Sanatana Dharma. Well, with this preliminary, it is clear that if we go to know very deeply another line, we realize that we are not committing a sin. The sin is in the heart of those who launch anathemas and excommunication, etc., dictated by the fear of losing a status at Rome, a favorable social position. This direction always reveals a very much expanded ego. Indeed, let's be aware that if we open our minds to other lines, we honor our organs, gifted us by the divine, of any line, that we don't use very often: brain, hearts, and discernment, which unfortunately now has changed connotation, becoming separation and apartheid. Instead of clarity of purpose, we find ourselves sunk in more and more blocking chains, the classical cages that human being is so good at building. Meeting other faiths, creeds, beliefs, means fortify their own, because in this way we understand that others have our same thoughts. Instead of being afraid of them, it is better to include what they have, perhaps have more. that is maybe closer to reality of life, something they can do in better way, or more easily to understand the divine, origin, principle, energy, initial cause, or whatever you want to call it. That is one who, being one, does not have another one to fight against. And one that is powerful enough not to need the ant-man claiming to defend him with bombs and extremisms, and maybe even share whatever would be useful to both parties. A mutual help of which we have lost the value. That could also clarify the various meanings that are losing their sense. As an example, as the monotheism. Monotheism means one God. It's really funny to see that all the so-called monotheistic lines are always presented with two polarities, the good and the evil. So, if we have one God, or principle, or divine, the good, which should be omnipotent, almighty, omniscient, all-knowing, pervasive, all-pervading, how could another principle, the bad, exist? That, if we see the current behavior of the humanity, would seem even more powerful. It is more realistic to think in monistic way to a single principle that contains everything, a whole which contains the good and bad, and knowing that every line of thought and creed has a common basis, why not staying in his horn, in harmony with the others and respecting them? One's own line of thought, perhaps more closer to our understanding and way of thinking and social living. So let's open up without fear to knowledge and let's ourselves flow. Nothing bad comes from knowledge. It is better to fear the ignorance, stupidity, presumption, arrogance, which are creators of intolerance, separation, and wars. Knowledge is a great value, not a demerit. And yoga belongs to a knowledge that transcends all religious lines and is based on Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is what has been called Hinduism by the British because of the impossibility for them to identify something that didn't belong to the conventional religions. The common meaning of this word, Sanatana Dharma, is primordial law, truth, rule, or eternal law, etc. It is complex to describe the meaning of Sanatana Dharma because an exact equivalent doesn't exist in the English language. And it seems quite difficult to find a term that gives it a comprehensive meaning. Also because there is the risk of transmitting an inadequate idea of it. Eternal rule, that which we usually translate as Sanatana Dharma, is a very limiting concept. Let's analyze the word Sanatana, which can correspond to eternal, perpetual, perennial. Even if eternal or perennial implies something static, stationary, immobile, frozen, and in a universe where everything is in movement, in which everything has a beginning and an end, the concept of eternal, perennial, or imperishable is too difficult for us to imagine, to realize. Easier to understand is the term perpetuity. Perpetuity gives exactly the right meaning of continuity without beginning or end. Dharma, in other hand, is normally translated as law, cosmic law, natural law. If we analyze the root of Dri, we observe that it means support, sustain, maintain. In short, it may mean preservation and stability. Let's see Dhru, from which derives the word Dhruva. That means pole or earth axis or axis of universe as well. And here we find the important meaning of stable and unchanged, the center, around where everything revolves. The axis of the universe around where everything revolves. Dharma is the essence itself of the universe, as the heat is the essence, the dharma of the fire. And with the decline of the dharma of the fire, the essence itself of fire becomes lost. It's heat. So, to Sanatana Dharma, you could give a fascinating idea of perpetuity, moving, resting on solid and permanent foundation. A concept that can appear difficult for its usual point of view. But it is important to understand that, as the limited nature of human mind, it is not able to conceive, if not through a thin intuition, the consciousness of permanence or infinity and of any empty wall that, in fact, is full. It is difficult to get an exact idea of what might be called the principle or essence or divine, God. A verse from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad clarifies the meaning of this our limitation. You cannot really know who make possible the knowledge itself. It means our impossibility of knowledge is limited by our being humans. So it is difficult to understand the no limits. This is one of the limits of the concrete human mind, physical mind, that is not able to conceive that it cannot concretely experience. And so, we could say, but how can we know the principle, the divine? Well, through dhyana and samadhi, and naturally a clean purpose, we can establish that a silence which in intuition brings us through the void to conceive the full, or at least to conceive who or what fills the void. Or by searching in a logical dissertation, as the Nyaya of the exclusion of not that, not this, neti, having a perception of what cannot exclude, or what remains not excludable, of what is solid, eternal, everlasting. The paths are different as the characteristic of each human being, as the way to recognize the origin are so many, as human beings are, so the various forms, Brahman, Saguna, of the formless, the Brahman Nirguna, are multiple. The Brahman Nirguna is the principle without qualities, the guna. The guna are aspects of nature, prakriti, and of everything that has been created. Nature in a global and universal meaning. Are three aspects, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And everything animated and inanimated, living beings, plants, mineral, air, fire, water, etc., is composed by these three principles. So the forms are defined in the Brahman Saguna with their own specific quality, and they are a part of the manifestation. Instead, the principle known as Brahman Nirguna, principle without qualities, is the formless, or that has no concrete form. This form, which have contributed to transmit the erroneous message contributed to Sanatana Dharma of a polytheistic religion, are thus aspects of nature, states of mind, qualities that anyway must be transcended. However, to see beyond the form, the principle without form. But mind, devotion, and limited vision need to lean and hold onto the form, which is used as a lever to raise their own awareness to the concept of the principle without form, a kind of point of detachment of elevation that allows an athlete to jump forward or upward. From this interpretation of the guna, it became clear that men and other various forms of the universe, be they plants, animals, or minerals, and so on, are part of one single unique being, one unique breath, which through the Sanatana Dharma, the perpetuity or continuity eternity, is seen, known, and that at the end will allow the various forms to dissolve themselves in it. And this is the monistic peculiarity of Sanatana Dharma. The Sanatana Dharma can include all ideologies, religions, spirituality, in respect of all points of view and paths necessary to reach the center, the essence. So, the Sanatana Dharma can be considered the very essence of the human race, a common platform, as the foundation of a house as in common with whatever other building, where every tooth, every line, every faith may find its foundation. And on this platform, everyone can build their own home, or a hovel, or a supermarket, or a luxury palace, or a temple and cathedral. And it is what I am spreading in all my teaching, in all the events I created and proposed around the world, this kind of sensitivity, and I ask you all to join in this purpose, because together we can. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Her Excellency, M.E. Gayatri Devi ji, thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful knowledge about yoga. As M.E. ji started with the motto, save knowledge and knowledge will save us. Her enlightening words took us into deep realms of yoga and teaches us how we find it in practical in our daily life. Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful and mesmerizing knowledge about yoga.
Moving further, respected all, we are privileged that we are in the India. Again, we are in Haridwar, the city of lands of lords, which is known as the cultural and spiritual capital of India. And again, we are so fortunate that we are seated under the bank of Ganga and the spiritual center of Shantikunj. This is the place from where the teachings of yoga, culture, and spirituality are spread all over the world. India is well known in all over the world for its cultural and spiritual heritage. This is the country where the language and culture is changed in every mile. Besides this cultural diversity, its spirituality binds all together. This is the uniqueness of this great country. Therefore, India is called Jagat Guru, as it serves the whole humanity in the world. Our singing team is going to express the same feeling about the India through one song, Bharatvarsh Hamara Pyara.
So I request the team for the song Bharatvarsh Hamara Pyara.
भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा अखिल विश्व से न्यारा भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा अखिल विश्व से न्यारा सब साधन से रहे समुन्नत सब साधन से रहे समुन्नत भगवन देश हमारा भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा अखिल विश्व से न्यारा भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा अखिल विश्व से न्यारा राष्ट्र में ब्रह्म तेज व्रतधारी महारथी हो शूर धनुर्धर क्षत्रिय लक्ष्य प्रहारी महारथी हो शूर धनुर्धर क्षत्रिय लक्ष्य प्रहारी क्षत्रिय लक्ष्य प्रहारी गौवे भी अति मधुर दुग्ध की गौवे भी अति मधुर दुग्ध की रहे बहाती धारा भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा अखिल विश्व से न्यारा भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा अखिल विश्व से न्यारा महिलाएं भूषती सुंदरी सद्गुणवती शयानी हमारा प्यारा, अखिल विश्व से न्यारा। भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा, अखिल विश्व से न्यारा। सब साधन से रहे समुन्नत, सब साधन से रहे समुन्नत, भगवन देश हमारा। भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा, अखिल विश्व से न्यारा। भारतवर्ष हमारा प्यारा, अखिल विश्व से न्यारा। भगवन देश हमारा, अखिल विश्व से न्यारा। भगवन देश हमारा।
बोले भारत माता की
It was not just a song, it is a Vedic Gan, which tells us that India is not bounded in boundaries. It tells about Sa Prathama Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya, which explains the quality of a good country. And it also tells us to be spiritual, yogic, and cultural citizens of the world. And it gives a message of universal brotherhoodness, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Moving ahead, a real teacher who lived his exemplary life as a true Shishya is a living example for all of us. The one who walked in the talk and made himself as an instrument in the hands of Gurudev, presented an example that it is that purity of heart that provides the innate strength to make impossible possible. Trinity of yoga, culture and spirituality can be seen in his life, through which millions of youth are getting guidance around the globe. It is our honor and pleasure. I am delighted to request Honorable Chancellor Sir to shower his blessings on all of us.
I would like to take the honor to request His Holiness Dr. Pranav Pandya ji to kindly shower his valuable blessing on all of us. Please, Shraddha.
First of all, we'll recite Gayatri Mantra, which is the most ancient Vedic prayer. It is said that the Vedas have been originated from Gayatri Mantra. That's why it is known as Mother of Knowledge, Mother of Vedas, Gayatri. We just heard HHME bless you Gayatri Devi. After the Gayatri Devi's address, I have been asked to present my views. Let us recite it with the Gayatri Mantra, which the meaning of which is, may Almighty illuminate our intellect to righteous path. Almighty is full of illustrious, glorious, very bright rays of the early morning rising sun. And that early morning rising sun is common to all of us. Whichever country we are living, we all worship sun. We are the sun worshippers. Worshipping the sun has been since ages. And this particular song, which you heard right now, is a Vedic Rashtriya Gan, national song, and universal song, Bharatvarsh Hamara Pyara. So from the land of the Rishis, from the land of sages, we are presenting this particular presentation. We start with Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurureva Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Seated on the dais, in the subtle presence of my Guru, Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya ji, Paramanya Mataji, Her Holiness, Amy bless you Gayatri Devi, our Vice Chancellor Sahab, our Registrar Sahab, our Pro Vice Chancellor. all the dignitaries present in the audience, especially Swami Amrit Suryananji, Haribhai Khalsa ji, all the followers of may bless you Gayatri Devi and Haribhai Khalsa ji and Amrit Suryananji, and all the other participants from various walks of life. This is the second day of our festival, and I hope you are enjoying each and every moment of this place. Yesterday also, from morning till evening, you were kept busy, and each and every moment of yours was culturally involved in each and every aspect, like traveling to the heart, traveling in the cart. Did you enjoy the traveling in the cart? Did you enjoy the traveling in the cart? If you can just understand my English and can someone interpret? Did you enjoy the traveling in the cart? The cow cart? Yes? Okay. And today also you will be traveling in that, and you will be enjoying how comfortable this journey is as compared to the very many horsepower, the cars and other vehicles, how comfortable this journey is. 80% of the India travels in this particularly, the rural area. What I am going to speak today is about yoga, because we got three topics: yoga, culture and spirituality. Yesterday I made the beginning of it. Today I will be telling about the yoga. Tomorrow I will be talking about the culture, and day after tomorrow I will be talking about the spirituality. Because these three topics are interrelated, intertwined together. Yoga is disciplining your life. When you adopt yoga, you start disciplining your life. Yoga ath yoganushashanam. Patanjali says in the very first verse that the yoga is discipline to be adopted in day-to-day life. Your time management, your sensual desires management, your monetary management, each and every management has to be very, very particular. You are not supposed to play with the resources which God have given to you. You are supposed to manage them so intricate way that each and every moment of yours is just like breathing God in, breathing God out, like this. So if you are doing that, disciplining the way of life. And this discipline brings wellness at all levels. There are two things in yoga: the lifestyle of a yogi, and second thing is the techniques of yoga. Unfortunately, the techniques are all elaborated and explained and given much importance, but nobody gives much importance to the lifestyle of a yogi. How does he live? How does he sleep? How does he see the dreams? How does he eat? How does he walk? That's why in Gita, which is the textbook of yoga, Lord Krishna is giving the example of yogi. Then his disciple Arjun asked, how does he look like? Sthit pragya se ka bhasha? How does he speak like? What is his language? How does he do everything? So then he explains everything. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogata. Sarvarambha parityagi sa sthit pragya. Who doesn't start anything, who just leaves all desires. That is the yogi. So lifestyle of a yogi has to be understood rather than the techniques. Techniques are very important, I understand. But today, more and more importance is being given to the techniques. For example, how to do this, how to do these mudras, how to do the various pranayamas, how to do bandh and everything. They are very important. But before that, the lifestyle has to be understood. What should be your 24-hour lifestyle? What should be your timetable? Both are complementary to each other, and both are needed. Without one, the other cannot survive. Without other, the one cannot survive. Today, more stress is on technique. It's even smaller children, they can do noli kriya. You can see them moving the abdomen like anything. They bring lot of gold medals also, but they are not well. Not only being doing some kriyas or only being doing some kriya yoga doesn't bring wellness. The wellness comes through the lifestyle which is to be adopted. There are few do's and don'ts in the medicine. This thing you should eat, this thing you shouldn't eat. Similarly, in Ayurveda also there is pathya and medicine, which is Ayurvedic medicine. They are all complementary to each other. Yoga will show the miracles only when wellness is at both levels, your lifestyle and your techniques. If both are complementary to each other, then only you will be able to do it. That's why the proper equilibrium, Lord Buddha talks about samatvam yoga uchyate. What Lord Krishna says in Gita, he says samyak, samyak, samyak. Proper balance. Not too much, not too little. When he was doing a hard penance, then his body dried up. He was made of only skeleton. Then a lady was passing through in front of him while he was in the posture of the yogi. And she started singing a song. You saw an instrument, you must have seen an instrument of sitar. Sitar, don't tighten them, don't tighten the strings and don't loosen the string. Keep them in between. Similarly, guitar is also like that. It is adjusted in such a way that the various tunes, various ragas, various raginis, they come in a proper way. The body is just like sitar, a body is just like veena. It has to be tuned properly. And for that, we have to understand the meaning through Lord Krishna. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Proper equilibrium is yoga. Proper equilibrium. Not too much, not too little. Sometimes people are hungry for so many days, Hatha yogis. They do not eat anything, they just are on water. Even they don't take water. Somebody keeps his hand up like this and doesn't bring it down, then ultimately this is a frozen shoulder. If I am a doctor, as a doctor, I'll treat him as a frozen shoulder. Not as a yogi. I'll tell him, you have unnecessarily created problem for you. These are not to be done unknowingly and unnecessarily, and unknowingly you are harming yourself. Santulan, sahacharya, proper santulan, equilibrium. ये समत्वम योग उच्चते का जो अर्थ है वो है संतुलन, साहचर्य और proper equilibrium. And we don't want too much attachment, we don't want too much jealousy, too much hatred. Ichha dvesh samuthena dandu mohena bharata. Lord Krishna says in Gita, don't have too much attachment, don't have too many desires, don't have too much of hatred and too much jealousy towards world. This world is bad, there is nothing in this world, the world is going to end one day. It is going to end one day, definitely. But why are you unnecessarily getting bothered about it? Why are you becoming a reason for it? Why are you becoming a reason for ending yourself? So, don't have a jealousy and hatred, don't have too much attachment. Rag, desh, vimukti, we have to come out. Dono nahi aana chahiye. Our lifestyle should be beyond all controversies, all conflicts. Then we are real yogi. And if we follow the yam and niyam, then ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, there are the yamas. The niyamas are shoj, santosh, tapa, aswad and ishwar, swadhyaya and ishwar pranidham. These are the niyams, laws of the yoga. So, if someone is following these laws of the yoga, then I'll consider him as a real yogi. If he doesn't follow, even a small bit he doesn't follow, then I will say that start from there. Then you go to the various postures. Then you go to various pranayams. Then you go to meditation. Then you go to the various contemplation and samadhi. Then second part of the yoga, as per Gita, is yoga karmasu koshalam. Excellence in action is yoga. And each and every action should be excellent, full of quality. You should blossom like flower. You should spread your fragrance wherever you go. Your actions, whatever you write, whatever you speak, whatever you read, whatever you express to others, whatever you teach to others, that should have a blossoming appearance. You are really a master, teacher, each and every one of you. You teach through your conduct. Yaddada charati seshtha tatyadev tarajana sayat pramanam kurte lokata anuvartate. The masses, they follow the person who is the role model and become a role model. If you want to become a yogi, become a role model for others. People will start following you. Lifestyle, if it is good, yoga karmasu koshlam and samatvam yoguchyate, these two words, they come to you, then you will be, your well-being will be definitely there. You will not be ill. You will not be ill from physique, you will not be ill from mind. Both the things will be there. We keep on sending greetings to others, get well soon, get well soon. But do we spread the message of yoga? How will he get well soon if he doesn't know the basics of yoga? That's why the yoga needs to be spread each and every corner of the world. Yoga is not merely postures. I'm constantly telling you the techniques. It is a lifestyle. The lifestyle has to be totally modified, totally transformed of each and every Indian, each and every Italian, each and every citizen of this world, this universe. We have to transform their life. We have to modify their life. And we have to tell them that you have to change the way you live today. We get up early in the morning, that's perfectly fine. We eat in the morning, that is perfectly fine. We do some exercises, that is perfectly fine. But morning till evening should be so disciplined that people start believing that really this should be a proper routine which I should adopt. This should be the your greeting goes to anyone, get well soon, then it should go with the message. There are so many wellness centers and so many spas, so many resorts which I see panchkarmas and all those things doing, and they are earning millions and millions of dollars. Are they doing really good to the people? Are the same people who are doing panchkarmas and yoga and meditation in the morning are taking drinks and liquor and all those things in the night, in the evening? Recently I was in Japan, just two weeks back I returned from Japan, and we had a conference on interfaith dialogue. The interfaith dialogue was focused on two things, meditation and home ceremony, fire ceremony. Can these two things come beyond religion? And Amy Blessio very rightly said, Gayatri Devi, she already said that the Central African Arboreal religion or the Zarathustra or the Sufis or the Muslims or the Hindus or the Buddhas, Bouddhic followers, they all believe in one principle, and that is one common thing, which is yogic meditation. We all believe in one thing. That particular concentration has come in that particular conference. But unfortunately, the diet pattern was different. Diet pattern, everybody was eating non-vegetarian food. We were the only two persons from Shantikunj, from India, who were eating the vegetarian food. Rest all were eating non-vegetarian food. How can you come to a conclusion that the yogic lifestyle, meditation, fire ceremony, home ceremony, and all these things are going to become the lifestyle of tomorrow? Gradually, in 6 days' time, I could convert 80% of them to vegetarianism. I could ask them to enjoy vegetarian food. Take vegetarian food. Enjoy it. And try to see the changes in your thinking. How the changes in thinking come. Early, before the meals, the people start taking ginger or something like juices and everything. But there they start with the beer and they start with the whiskey and all. From all over the world, people have collected, 40 people. I had to tell them that this is not to be starting point. The starting point has to be just Om. Say Om. And then start with whatever is available from the natural resources, fruits. They said beer is also from fruits. The whiskey is also from, many things are from fruit. But they started making excuses. Then I had to tell them that this is not going to bring the unity amongst all of us. That 7 days seminar, 6 to 7 days seminar was a unique experience for me, because I could teach them the way of well-being, how to be do a average yoga in your day-to-day life by adopting the lifestyle. Yoga gives you excellence, yoga gives you stillness, yoga gives you strength. Excellence, stillness, to be quiet at all the points, and whenever you want to get irritated, it will give you stillness. What are the obstacles in the well-being? The obstacles are, as Shri Patanjali says, the dukh dormanasya kampan, vikshep, shwas prashwas, all these are the 5, 1/31, 1/32. These are all the obstacles in the becoming well in our day-to-day life. So how to get rid of them? To get rid of them, we need regular practice. And regular practice brings our lifestyle in a properly, orderly way. Yesterday I told you one verse which I want to repeat again. Yasmanno dviste loke, lokanno dviste chaya, harshamarsh bhayodvege. Yah nar me priya. That man is very dear to me, who doesn't bother others by his behavior and who doesn't get bothered by others' behavior, and who doesn't get too pleased or too much jealous or too much bothered by many things which are happening in the society. He keeps on mending his ways properly. अपने काम को ठीक से करता है और कभी गड़बड़ाता नहीं है. योग का अभ्यास करते करते जीवन शैली ठीक करते हुए ठीक हो जाता है स्वयं. इसी से from here comes the chitta prasadanam, the happiness from inside. You see, Lord Krishna says in Gita, ashantasya kutah sukham. The man at unpeace, how he will get happiness? The man at unpeace, how will he get happiness? Ashantasya kutah sukham. How will you get happy? Happy you will be becoming only when you start becoming still from inside, shant, quiet, just like a still water, without any waves and without any thrills. Then Lord Krishna says in Gita about yuktahar viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapna bodhasya, yoga bhavati dukkhaha. Yoga is destroyer of all miseries of life. Yoga is supposed to be the destroyer of all miseries. But only thing is ahar vihar, diet, your living, your way of pattern, your sleeping pattern, your actions, they all should be according to the yoga. Well-being will come only when there is no miseries in your life. How to get away from miseries? You can get away from miseries by adopting right lifestyle and right techniques. Psychological and physical fitness and beyond excellence, you can reach the Prakriti Paramatma ka Sahacharya, you can reach the ultimate reality. Without yoga also you can be fit by going to gymnasium, but yoga makes you not only fit physically, but it makes you fit mentally and spiritually. That is the beauty of the yoga. There is Hatha Yoga and there is Raj Yoga. Hatha Yoga is for the subtler prana and to basically make our body much more fitter and much more beautiful. But the Raj Yoga is merging yourself, dissolving yourself in the Almighty. Today people have forgotten Raj Yoga and they are more engaged in Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is done more for the other purposes, mundane worldly purposes, and Raj Yoga is not being adopted. So this is what we have to think in this seminar, that we should mix both the Raj Yoga and Hatha Yoga. राजयोगी हठ योग न करने के कारण रोगी भी हो सकता है, और हठ योगी राजयोग न करने के कारण दुखी, रोगी और मनोरोगी भी हो सकता है. तो दिस वी हैव टू कम इन बिटवीन वी हैव टू फॉलो. When we talk of yoga, Patanjali, Tantra Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Pradipika, all these books they discuss about the yoga. Yoga designs our lifestyle in such a way that we develop an attitude towards life, a particular attitude towards life. Our positivity, our future, we start living in present and we start developing our attitude towards future. Today we, as I just now said, today we find a lot of Hatha Yogas, lot of Hatha Yogis doing a lot of activities, and there are a lot of people who are doing meditation, imitating to do meditation, but there is no Raj Yoga. Asanas are the physical postures. They are essential and they balance the mind. If I keep on shaking this glass like this, this will not be still. You can see this is still unstill. Similarly, Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, if you want to make mind stable, your body should be stable. That's why we sit in the Vajrasana, we sit in the Padmasana, we sit in the various postures, so that our mind becomes stable. I agree totally that asana is necessary, postures are necessary, because they balance the mind. But definitely the meaningfulness will come only when we enter into the next class. We never enter into the next class. We keep on entering into the same class. We keep on wandering into the same class. If someone does graduation and doesn't do post-graduation, then how will he increase his knowledge? The knowledge has to be increased, enhanced by learning more and more and going into the deeper. And for that, you have to do Kriya Yoga. And Kriya Yoga, Patanjali says 3 things. Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranidhan. Tapaha, penance. Swadhyaya, self-introspective literature. Keep on reading about yourself. Who are you? Yesterday I told one word, digging yourself. Dig yourself. Excavate yourself. Excavate your soul. Try to search about yourself. And Swadhyaya, Ishwar Pranidhan. Believing in God and gradually adopting its virtues. This destroys all the various worries and miseries. And this comes through अपने प्रति कठोरता, दूसरों के प्रति उदारता. Those who can listen to me in Hindi, अपने प्रति कठोरता, दूसरों के प्रति उदारता. Man should be very, very strict and very vigilant towards himself, and man should be very liberal towards others. If you are strict towards yourself, your diet will be controlled, your time will be controlled, your sensual desires will be controlled. Today's lifestyle, because of this being a modern age full of multiplexes, plazas, malls, all these things, our lifestyle has become greedy. We want more and more. We want more and more. And in that particular race, we have forgotten our lifestyle. We don't know that if you don't sow in the nature, you won't get it in return. We are sowing in the artificial world. Sowing the seeds in the nature is very important. I'll just tell you the example of my guru, who lived a life of hard penance. He lived in his life in real sense that how in today's life also you can do tapas. Tapa you can do it. That for that you don't need Himalayas, for you don't need any cool place, for you don't need any forest. You just can do it in your own home. You can follow it by following a regulated lifestyle from morning till evening. Many scriptures which we find today, they originated because of this tapa only, of the various sages and rishis. What will be the result of tapa? The tapa's result is conservation of energy. Inner energy will be conserved. You will be able to conserve that energy for you will be able to channelize that energy for a proper cause. The vitality and the immunity will not be destroyed in the various resources, various things. Self-reformation will start happening, Atma Parishkar, and your behavior, your thoughts, everything will start changing by tapas. Prakriti also, nature also does Abhisheka, Rudrabhisheka to these people, and it starts nurturing these persons. After the tapa, the second point is swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means vichar, vivek, thoughts, conscience, right thoughts, right good quality thoughts to be adopted. And for that you need proximity of right persons, proximity of good persons, proximity of persons who have achieved something, elevated themselves from consciousness point of view. And then third point is Ishwar Sharanagati. Ishwar Sharanagati means Ishwar Pranidhan. The moment it comes, the yogic lifestyle starts developing. This particular concept has to be understood. And for this, we need to understand 3 points. Healthy body, clean mind, civilized society. स्वस्थ शरीर, स्वच्छ मन अपना सभ्य समाज बनाएंगे. This is the slogan which our Gurudev gave to everyone. Millions and millions of people in India and abroad, they follow this principle. Swasth sharir, swachh man apna sabya samaj. Healthy body, clean mind, no jealousies, no ego, no perverted thoughts, and then civilized society. But how it will come? The yoga can make you healthy body, can make your body healthy. The meditation and many things which are taught in the yoga can make your mind clean. And yoga doesn't enlighten only one person. Yoga enlightens the whole society. That's why the civilized society, the cultured society. Cultured society will be outcome of the yoga starting in the healthy body, clean mind and civilized cultured society. This particular concept of the yoga, if we are able to understand, if we are able to follow, I think we will be able to develop the yoga in a proper perspective. There are so many schools of yoga all over the world. Yoga is being taught like anything, but only for physical gains, only for disease elimination, or only for sexual power to be achieved. I am so sorry to tell you that yoga for sex, this is what is the book which I have got in my library. Yoga for the more and more pleasures. Yoga for yoga is a word which is yunjante iti yoga, which unites two together. Who are these two? Microcosmos and macrocosmos. This is the Jeev and this is the Brahma. This is the smallest being, Atma, and this is Paramatma. This is the God. Yoga means uniting these two. Where do these perversions they start coming in this particular philosophy? Probably because of our nonsense thinking, and probably because of the modernity which has come in the yogic perspective. We have to cleanse the whole process of yoga thinking, and yogic way of living has to be developed. We have to tell them about the chakras. We have to tell them about the koshas, the 5 sheaths. We have to tell them about the whole uniqueness of the body. How rare is this unique human body? You have achieved, you have got it. And you can do yoga only in this human body. You cannot do yoga in the cow's body. You cannot do the yoga in any other body. This is the particular concept which you can develop in this particular body only. So how fortunate are you, and why you are being away, why you are away from yoga? Why don't you adopt it in day-to-day life, and why don't you start developing excellence in your day-to-day life? I hope that I have been able to make myself very clear. Let us not stick only to techniques. Let us go to the lifestyle. Let us try to evolve them. And that is what is the main perspective we are looking after in this university. In this Dev Sanskriti University, we are teaching them various techniques also. But the yogic lifestyle, yogic thinking, clean mind, meditation, and various contemplations which can bring you to the unity of the Atman with Paramatman. How can we bring it in our day-to-day life? If that thing we can develop in this particular conference, our conference will be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We all are delighted and feel self-eliminated by the pearls of wisdom lying beneath the guidance of Shraddha, the underlying concept of simplified yoga. As Gurudev said, yoga is the art of living, and Shraddha explained through text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and philosophy of Buddha about management of life and all of its dimensions, and made it simple for all of us through examples.
Now, I request our Honorable Chancellor Sir to felicitate the chief guest, Her Holiness Amy Bleasio, Gayatri Devi Ji, by giving her memento and literature of Pujya Gurudev.
Please put your hands together for such a wonderful movement over here.
Let's end up this program by chanting Shantipat together. Om Dev Shanti Antarikshagam Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapah Shanti Roshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishwavidyalaya Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagam Shanti Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Revi Om Shanti 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 Sarvarishta Sushantir Bhavatu. All of you, please be seated. Our honorable guests are moving. There will be some few announcements for you.
All the registered Our Honorable Amy Blessy Gayatri Devi Ji presents a book to our Shraddha Dr. Pranav Pandya Ji. Please put your hands together for this wonderful moment.
Now, all of you, please be seated. Our guests are moving. Om Namo Stanantaya Sahasramurte Sahasrapadaya Shishuruvaya Sahasranamne Purushaya Shashvate Sahasrakoti Yugadharine Namah Sahasrakoti Yugadharine